I am Tim Ryan, and I'm here with The Road to Recovery. I came from a good family. My dad worked at the Chicago Board of Trade for 26 years, never missed a day of work. My mom co-founded a food co-op. Every sporting event we're at, everything we're at, my parents were at. So I can't blame my addiction or alcoholism on my parents. I was a very outgoing kid, but I was also the kid who didn't know how to fit in. The only thing I excelled at was water skiing. From 14 to 21, I was one of the top-ranked barefoot water skiers in the country. At 14, I started drinking. At 15, I experimented with cocaine, and that was high school. The only thing I cared about was when I was training on the water. Otherwise, it was party, but the party never ended. I had the opportunity to go down to college in Louisiana, and I went down to Northeast Louisiana University because they had the best intercollegiate water ski team in the country. I never got on the water ski team. I barely went to class, and my whole world revolved around drinking and doing drugs. Everything I did, I destroyed because drugs and alcohol took over my entire life. I lived to use, I used to live. I got kicked out of college. I came back to Illinois, did some odd jobs, and started hanging out with an older gentleman. He had the cocaine hookup in Chicago, and we would go down and pick up 2 ounces of cocaine every day. We'd sell one, and Roger and I started freebasing cocaine together. That very quickly took over a monster like I've never seen, and at 21 years old, I checked myself into drug treatment. I met my future wife at work, and she had a 3-year-old son. I adopted him. We had 3 other children, Max, Tanner, and Abby. But I was always in and out of addiction. Made it about 14 months clean, going to meetings, and I took a kid from Chicago to move out of his apartment, and as we were moving him out, his roommate was doing heroin, and my brilliant mind decided to try 1 bag. That's what I thought I was looking for, that 1 bag of heroin. That 1 bag of heroin turned into a 12-year habit, and that's when the consequences really started. I picked up a second DUI. I lost my license. I got my first, second, third, fourth driving on revoke. I was sentenced to prison the first time in 2008. And I went through the motions, got out, started another executive search firm. The mark was hot, made a ton of money. And then December 16th of 2010, I drove one more time. I overdosed while driving. I hit 2 cars. And I put 4 people in the hospital, one being a 9-month-old baby. I don't remember a thing because I was dead on the scene. It took 5 doses of Narcan to bring me back. Thank you to those paramedics and police officers, because without that, I'd be dead. I got to a point where I wanted to kill myself, but being raised Catholic, if there's a heaven or hell or a purgatory, I didn't want to hurt myself, so I just went back to using. And about 3 months into fighting my case, I was profusely dope sick. I was taking a hot bath, and my 17-year-old son walked in the bathroom, and he said, "What's wrong, Pops?" And I said, "What do you think, you idiot? I'm dope sick." And with Nick, I wasn't a father, I was a friend. I let him and his buddies smoke weed and drink in the house. And he said, "Not anymore, Dad. Today's your lucky day." And he threw 2 bags of heroin on the counter, and I got out of the tub and I did them. October 30th of 2012, I was sentenced to 7 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. When I walked into prison that second time, I weighed 158 pounds. I was skin and bone. I was walking death. I was beat. I was done. And I can remember being in Northern Illinois Receiving Center I was dope sick for 3 weeks. I didn't sleep for a month, and I looked up and I said, God, higher power, Allah, Buddha, Fred, who's ever up there, I'm done. Please take away this obsession and compulsion to use, and I swear I will turn my life and will over to you, and please let me get into Sheridan Prison. And the next day I was transferred to Sheridan Prison. I walk into the cell and there's this big black guy sitting on a bunk reading an AA Big Book, and I walked in and I said, hey man, what's up? And he looks up at me like I bothered him, and he says, hey Whitey, you into recovery? I said, yeah, why? He said, because if not, brother, you ain't coming in this cell, because that's all we do in here. I said, I'm into recovery. He said, hey, I'm Big Perk, nice to meet you. I said, hey, Big Perk, I'm Tim. And he looks at me again, he says, Tim, I think I'm going to call you Powder. And that man helped save my life.